3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback. On first down, Decker, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series, they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
You see the numbers on the ground for Dixon a week ago. 14 carries, 55 yards.
And when he went over 1,000 yards last week, you know what it did for their offense? It gave them a true identity because everyone's going to talk about this. The offensive line's going to take pride in it. Of course, the guy carrying the football will. But how about the coaching staff? When they go in and talk contracts, when they talk to reporters, hey, we had a 1,000-yard rusher this year. That means something in today's NFL.
On second down, it's Dixon. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
To throw on 3rd down, Decker. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. To throw again, Decker. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, ball's out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone. Because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 7 catches, 76 yards.
And the competition gets a little bit tougher here because he's got to go against the #1 ranked defense in the NFL against the pass, the latest incarnation of the no-fly zone.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way down.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. This is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you're really out here in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. This is taken at the 3. And it'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback. Throwing on 1st down. Wolf. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And down he'll go at the 25. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a 1st. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Operating from the gun. Wolf got his man complete over the middle. It's Fleming. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. It was 3rd and medium. They popped the short pass, looking to pick up the first, accomplish that mission, and then they accomplished a lot more on that mission all the way for the score.
Let me focus in on one word you used, pop, right? They popped the short pass, and then what happened after that? They popped the big run. Because now, once he caught it, didn't have anyone else in the vicinity to bring him down, and he takes off, and he kept going. Nice gutsy call, even better execution.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and the result, a Houston touchdown. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
A very solid gain of 27. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
On first down, they go with Dixon. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, that play certainly felt like what I call a tendency breaker. First and 10, they dial up a draw play. That's not a normal situation, but give credit to the defense. They weren't fooled at all and really finished off the play.
And we'll get our first update of the afternoon from the Meadowlands. And the Eagles out in front early. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. To throw on second down. Decker, a dump off for Dixon. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to lead to a third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So here we go, a third down after the second down pass completion. Back to throw. Decker. And that is incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. And now out comes Houston. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I'm actually surprised they didn't get out of that play. I didn't see anyone pressing the line of scrimmage for the defense.
It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be taken down here at about the 10. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Austin Johnson, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
The Texans send the punter out. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Take it at the 37. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
On 1st and 10. Decker firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. A touchdown apiece here in this first quarter of play. 7-all is the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. Looking to throw. Decker. Incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Back to throw. Decker. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They get 9 yards there, and they get a first down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential, but when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile it.
And the ball is knocked out. And the Texans say they have it. They do. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And now out comes Houston. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Throwing to start the drive. Wolf. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
They run the counter now on first down. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you can see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
Here we go now.
Looking to throw on second down. Wolf. Right side caught by Jackson. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. The Texans send the punter out. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they got across the 50 last time, but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team, because now your defense has to make that stand up.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
They've looked his way quite a bit, and in my estimation, as well they should.
So that's now 5 catches in this first half alone.
And he picks up another first down. He's been an important part of their offense here early.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time the yards won't come so easy, as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. They stay on the ground with Dixon. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. Looking to throw. Decker. And that's caught inside the 35. And they'll get him to the ground, but he got all the way down to the 30-yard line. That one goes for 29 yards on third down. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
On first down, Decker. And his throw here's incomplete.
I know we're just in the second quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's his second drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Decker out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat on the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
The Falcons on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Decker. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. It'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down. Now, the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. Second quarter in Cleveland, and it's now a 2-touchdown advantage for the Bengals. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And he'll give it here to his running back. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. Coming up at halftime, remember, we'll get you out to Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of this first half. That is, of course, unless you decide to skip him.
And for the record, we do not encourage that.
Let's go!
From the gun on 3rd down. Wolf to the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4. Operating from the gun, Wolf. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Austin Johnson in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
All right, here we go.
On 3rd down, Wolf, and an alley to run. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Back to throw. Wolf, quick hitter here, it's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down. Wolf. Throw left side complete. It's Lindsey. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Fresh set of downs here. From the gun, Wolf. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Throwing again. Wolf looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Fleming. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. And this one is right through. Second quarter in Cleveland, and the Bengals out to the early advantage. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. So they get the field goal here at the end of the second quarter and take the lead into the lockers.
And isn't that what every team wants to do? Right at the end of the half, put points on the board and go into the locker room feeling a lot better about themselves.
This fielded at the 2. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Falcons trail at home at halftime. The Texans have looked good on the road and will just try to keep the ball rolling in the second half. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Now 1st and 10, Douglas is going to head outside to the right, and he capped off the long drive with a touchdown as they take a 7-0 lead. Midway through the first, Fleming's got nobody around him on the catch, and he'll win the sprint to the end zone. Texans tie it up at 7. Texans have it late in the second. Lindsey's got the reception, and he'll end up at the 40-yard line before being tackled. Texans will stall out, though, and settle for a field goal. So that'll bring our halftime report to a close. We'll go back now to Mercedes-Benz Stadium for the start of the third quarter.
This one fielded at the 5. And a big hit there as he runs into a brick wall at the 24-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with a quarterback on the ground so much.
And he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Looking to throw on second down. Wolf. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now. The Texans on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks at the 33. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. And, you know, their previous possession, they were able to move the football, but still wound up punting in the end.
You know, in 2016, Carolina had a 20-play drive that lasted over 10 minutes. And remember how it ended?
And a punt.
Yeah, I mean, how does that happen? You just don't see that happen every day.
And this one maybe not quite that bad, but still, you'd like to have a chance for points if you hold the football that long.
Agreed.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. To throw on 2nd down. Decker, and incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun. Decker. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week. And this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back. And they did a great job in the first half. But now they've gotten their first sack here in the second half. Look out. They'll try to increase the pressure.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Looking to throw. Wolf, a 2nd spin. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And to give this time to the tailback. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Let's go! Green, 39!
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wolf throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jackson. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Well, this is caught by Jackson. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. So now we have Jackson slow to get back on his feet. Appears to be shaken up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. From the gun, Wolf throwing middle, and it's complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
To throw on second down, Wolf. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover two, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
So out come the Falcons now. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before and realize it hasn't worked
Go to something
somewhere
else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Looking to throw on second down. Decker. And he is out of bounds, getting it just shy of the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Throwing on first down. Decker. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. And that one results in 35 yards.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. If you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
The give running right, Dixon. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3-and-out.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Right back to Dixon. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
The offense operating inside the 10 at the 8 here. It's 1st and goal. Back to throw. Decker. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. That's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
So the drive there took 6 plays. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Wolf. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down.
I think someone's going to get in the QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That would be the 2nd person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, 2nd drive, not much better. The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun. Wolf. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. A 3rd quarter score now from MetLife Stadium. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. So at the start of this game, it looked like the defense was wearing him down a little bit. Now you look at the numbers, that's kind of flipped.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. And his offensive line has really started to play well. And the best offensive line coaches that I've ever talked to, when they have great runners, you know what they tell their guys? Relax. You don't have to be perfect. Get as many guys as you can, but if you leave one free, the great runner will either make him miss or go through him. So don't worry about that. You don't have to be so precise. Just go ahead, block some people, try and create some room, and allow him to go to work. An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This time they face a 3rd and 2. On 3rd and short, it's Dixon. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A very good move, but for a short gain out near the 32. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
To throw on 2nd down. Wolf is going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Wolf. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
Play action. Wolf. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wolf. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Off the play fake. Wolf. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out. But you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
The Texans send the punter out. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. They have gone to the 4th quarter, by the way, in that game in Cleveland. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. If they hold on, it would be win number 10 for them on the year. Atlanta now coming out on the field.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Parks, Mrs. Bifema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Down after losing yardage at the 10. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Brad, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
A gain of 11 and a first down. From the gun, Decker. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. A 40-yard punt, no return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
7 yards on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 3 yards to go on second down. Operating from the gun, Wolf, and he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. First down now, but the clock continues to move. He's back to throw, and he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Back to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. Back to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more on that one and another first down. They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Austin Johnson in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. He'll look to throw. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. A really nice gain of 25 yards. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw. Wolf, his pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That'll bring up second and goal after the gain of 5. To throw on second down. Wolf, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Looking to throw. Wolf. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 6 yards on the pickup, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down.
Offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. Back to throw. Wolf, and he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners.
He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. They have gone to the 4th quarter, by the way, in that game in Cleveland. And it's the Bengals that wound up winning that one. If they hold on, it would be win number 10 for them on the year. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. Well, this one, partner, was fun down to the very end. They got the points late, right before the whistle. Then the ensuing kickoff. They were hoping for magic on the other side, but couldn't get that spark.
Fun if you won, and fun for us, because we got to watch him and call it. That magic that you were talking about didn't occur at the end, but what a game all the way through.
So for the Texans, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-5. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, it's a potentially fatal blow to their playoff chances as they drop to 6-7 on the year. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say so long, everybody.